Look, I mean, I'll tell you, they want to change the narrative. We got to learn how to practice. It's different for them. They're learning me and how I want to practice, but it's not because they're not giving us everything. So it's what I would have hoped for. A group that is eager to learn, and then I will say that their conditioning level. Jake Flint and his staff have done an incredible job. We run a drill called 88s, which is a high tempo, 8 plays with the first group, 8 plays with the second. And on the first day, generally, you get guys that are, bent over, huffing and puffing, and there was none of that. So that's a real indication of their conditioning level and that staff getting them ready for spring practice.
Were there some positions, or are there now, that you did feel good about? You liked kind of the guys or the depth you had?
Oh, yeah. There's a number of positions. I think the wide receiver position has great depth. Certainly the defensive line has great depth. I think we've created some great competition at quarterback. I think that there's some, clearly opportunities for us to, if things move in the right direction, be really strong at corner. I think there's some depth at safety. And then the running back position, although there might be some uncertainty, at this point, if you look at the guys that were suiting up there today and then what we've got coming, I think we've got some really good depth there. So I think across the board, you want to continue to develop, as I mentioned earlier, the offensive line and tight end position. I think we're still looking at, how we're going to play that outside backer position, that nickel Sam. That right now, I don't know that needs to be addressed through the portal. That's really internal. But those would considerably, for me, be strengths of our football team.
I was curious as to which of the incoming freshmen have sort of stood out to you.
Well, I think, the guys that, physically have really caught our, Will Campbell, the offensive lineman, is just a beast. I mean, physically, he has the makeup physically to compete, in his first year. Will he? I couldn't tell you right now. It's too early to tell. But, the way he's kind of shown himself in the weight room, he has the physical traits to compete early on. I'm not here to, pound the table for him that he's ready to start. But physically, he doesn't look like a normal freshman offensive lineman coming in. So that's one guy that kind of stands out to me. Walker obviously is a talented freshman quarterback. But again, we're talking about championship level football, and you need a little bit of experience, for that. So when I talk about some of these guys, they're very, very talented, but you're comparing them to Alabama, A&M, great football teams with experienced players. So that's the difference. As I don't know if you guys know, but we were out there for 90 minutes, and I like to get a lot of work done in a short period of time. I don't think you need to be out there for 2-3 hours. I think you can get your work done. And I want to do it with high energy. I love intensity through repetition. I think it's the best way to learn, and creating that environment has been really good. Look, everybody's got really good players. I think it's about preparation, and this has been, for me, a way to prepare our football team for Saturday. So, yeah, a lot of that is already scripted. A lot of that is already built into the way we practice. I do all the practice schedules to, create that for the coaches, and then they just coach their positions accordingly. As it relates to Walker, it's interesting. He had the surgery, and he's incredible in terms of how he just, even during spring break, he stayed here. He didn't go on spring break. He stayed here, did rehab. And, we're the smartest guys in the world as coaches. We got him ready. His arm's great. But, he's got this surgery on, kind of the fatty part of his thumb. And our cadence is a clap. Well, he's clapping, and, he's wincing every time. We weren't smart enough to think that maybe he should use a verbal cadence. So we made that change today. He was verbal after he said, "Coach, that really hurts." So he's done a really good job of coming back, and we're not that smart.
Watching Matt House in the defense today, it seemed like a lot of energy. What does he bring to that side of the ball, and what did you see from the group?
I'm sorry, who?
Matt House.
I think he just he doesn't overcomplicate it, right? I mean, look, you got to be great in third down. You've got to be a great situational defense. You've got to mix things up. I don't want to dumb this down in any shape or form because I think we all. I don't want to. Everybody knows football in here, right? But you still have to get energy. You have to get guys running to the football, and there has to be a simplicity to that. And so the way he teaches, the way he communicates, he can get to that line quickly with the kids. And on day one, you could see that. If you were out there for any of the practice, you could see there's a great energy. And look, his record speaks for itself. He's been able to do it, wherever he's been a defensive coordinator. And I saw it today. Great energy on the defensive side of the ball. Thanks, appreciate it.